50 Cent and Eminem have just exposed Diddy's shocking involvement in Brittany Murphy's death, and it's not looking good for Diddy.
I've been saying it for 20 years. I've said it since that day. I'm like, what? Nah.
When people say that to me, I get a little uncomfortable. I get uncomfortable. Like he said something to me one time, a long time ago. He told me he'd take me shopping. I looked at him like, what'd you just say?
Why don't we go shopping or some shit? I mean, I pay for it. And I was like, what this nigga just say?
He got old real fast.
I ain't never made a call to Diddy. I got Diddy's number. Just hit him up. Yo.
And Eminem have the internet absolutely freaking out after new leaks reveal they had a hand in the shocking documentary revealing what really happened to Brittany Murphy. But that's not the shocking part. Rumor is that there is an unreleased version of the documentary it implicates Diddy, and if it got out, it could keep Diddy in prison forever. So, join me as we dive into Esk drama and figure out what shocking evidence M and 50 have on Diddy and Witha's rumored documentary has Diddy out.
They consider a pre-existing beef, right? For 20 years, right? It's me being uncomfortable with him suggesting that he takes me shopping, or I looked at it like it was like a tester. Like maybe you'll come play with me type of thing, right?
All right, let's get into it. So we all know 50 Cent and Diddy have had this feud going for what feels like forever, right? 50 has never been shy about throwing shots, but what he's saying, no, this isn't just about diss tracks or shady business deals anymore. This is next level. 50 is out here publicly suggesting a connection, a really dark honey between Diddy and the death of Brittany Murphy. He's talking about this in the middle of all the buzz around a new documentary about her final years. You see, the tragic and honestly pretty strange death of actress Brittany Murphy has always been one of Hollywood's biggest unanswered questions. She Wazenly 32, a huge star from movies like Clueless and 8 Mile, and her whole story just ended abruptly. Now, a new documentary on HBO Max called What Happened Brittany is digging it all back up. It's putting a spotlight on her final years, which were repetitorily troubled. And on her marriage-tossed screenwriter Simon Monjack, the media at the time was all over their story. And Becca's, this is the internet in 2024, where every mystery gets connected to the biggest drama of the moment. This documentary has people asking new. Specifically, they're looking at the orbit of Sean Diddy Combs. Here's how the theory goes. Brittany's world through her ex Ashton Kutcher overlapped with Diddy's Rat Pack circle. Now, people are looking at the other mysterious deaths and illnesses around Diddy, like Kim Porter, Heavy D, and Andre Harrell, and they're whispering, what if Brittany's death? It's that some pattern. It's a chilling idea. Bother is where things really get interesting. First, 50 directly accused Diddy of poisoning, saying, No, he poisoned Jamie Foxx. That's an astonishing thing to say publicly, and he didn't leave it there. 50 claimed Jamie Foxx was so convinced, he reported it to the FBI. Then, 50 got personal. He revealed that he had been poisoned 3 times and he claimed he tested positive for cyanide. He then linked this directly back to the same group of people. While he didn't name Diddy again, that breath, the implication is crystal clear to anyone following this feud. This isn't gossip. This is a witness of sorts, giving testimony. He's describing a pattern of alleged behavior thought goes far beyond industry rivalry. 50's, talking about physical harm, he even frames it historically, pointing out how industry beef evolved after the era of Tupac and Biggie, where conflicts tragically turned violent. He's drawing a line from that past to what he's salvaging is happening now, where Thibodeau isn't just over charts and sales, but is fought with, in his words, poison. So, when we hear rumors that 50 and Eminem might be working on their own, it makes sense. They aren't just making a celebrity true crime show, if 50 is to be believed. They might be compiling what they see as evidence. They're not just taking shots. They could be building a case, or at least a public indictment directly tying Diddy to a pattern of alleged intimidation and violence that spans decades. And now, according to 50, includes a medic murder. This elevates the entire story. It's no longer did something weird happen around these people. It's now a major celebrity is openly accusing Ganathor of multiple poisoning attempts and has drawn in the FBI. That's a whole different level of drama, with potentially real-world legal consequences now. This is where 50 Cent's approach gets calculated. He's deliberately shifting the frame. This isn't just I don't like Diddy. He's positioning himself as a businessman exposing a corrupt and dangerous operating system within the industry. His problem, as he tells it, is that Diddy represents a toxic form of power, one that allegedly moves past blocking business deals and into physically harming rivals, which 50 claims to have experienced himself. When 50 drops that line about the unwritten law of appearing not to need anything, He's giving us a key to the whole game. In thought high-stakes world, a need is a weakness, and a weakness can be exploited. By accusing Diddy of poisoning, he's alleging the ultimate most horrifying exploitation at a king of person's basic health and safety to gain an upper hand. It reframes their foe from personal drama to a brutal case study in corruption. Now bring in Eminem his old quote about Brittany Murphy. Death is haunting, you can heart genuine confusion and hurt. Hewant, just mourning an actress he worked with, he was mourning a friend Henu as a good person. And he connected her loss to a bigger, scarier pattern he was observing. Famous people overdosing at alarming rates. He was pointing at the same shadowy ecosystem, feeling its human cost. This is why more of them collaborating on a documentary feels so potent. It wouldn't a diss track. It would be a fusion of two powerful perspectives. You'd have 50 Cent, the strategist, laying out the blueprint of intimidation and physical threat. Then you'd have Eminem, the artist and witness, giving a heartbreaking face history of his friend Brittany, a casualty off the same environment. Together, they could build a narrative that's far bigger than any single feud. It would suggest that the alleged poisoning Ujami Fox and the tragic, mysterious death of Brittany Murphy are not isolated events, but connected symptoms of sickness within the machinery of M itself. That's a story with gravity, and it turns there. Project from gossip into a potential indictment? Now, let's put the pieces together. Brittany Murphy's death was ruled as pneumonia and anemia, but the specific medical detail that haunts the case is her hemoglobin level, a catastrophically low 3.0. Where a normal range is 12 to 15.5, a number that low doesn't suggest a slow decline, it screams of an acute violent attack on her body, which is why her father spent years convinced she was poisoned. Theory repetition of this pattern is the blood. Just 5 months later, in the same house, her husband, Simon Monjack, died from the same official. The odds of that being malchance are vanishingly small, and their unusual living situation with Brittany's mother after her death only added layers of strange speculation. The motive that connects them to a larger, darker stories, the persistent rumor that they were planning to expose Diddy. This aligns perfectly with the terrifying pattern surrounding Diddy's inner circle. His former partner Kim Porter died under similarly murky circumstances, also rumored to be ready to reveal damage in a formation. Close friends like Heavy Dan Andre Harold died suddenly of heart attacks, while reportedly working on books about their lives in that world. Even the oversight of the deaths feels consistent with the same coroner, Ed Winter, ruling pneumonia for both Brittany and Monjack. When viewed in isolation, each tragedy is a mystery. But when viewed together, they sketch the italines of a devastating allegation that, in this particular orbit, people prepared to tell certain stories have a habit of meeting sudden medical inconvenient ends. Brittany and Simon aren't just a sad Hollywood tale in this narrative, they become potential victims of a silencing protocol. Their deaths a stark warning written in the language of pneumonia and heart failure. Guys, the story of Brittany Murphy's death is a perfect storm. A genuine unsolved tragedy meeting the era of true crime documentaries and the biggest celebrity scandal of the moment. The new HBO documentary is focusing a necessary, respectful lens on her life and her struggles, which is important. It's context to her final years, but 50 Cent's explosive on their accusation shiv, thrown a massive controversial wink into the mix. He's not just suggesting involvement. He's using words like poison and FBI, tying Brittany's story to a much broader, darker pattern of alleged behavior. It's a serious charge that demands serious evidence, which we simply don't have publicly yet. So, where does that leave us with two parallel narratives running at once? Onez, a human story told by the documentary about a talented woman's difficult final chapter. The other is a forensic rumor fueled by 50 Cent and internet sleuth Set, connects her death to a pattern of alleged silencing within a power-file entertainment circle. The first seeks understanding, the second seeks accountability or perhaps revenge. It's crucial to separate the two to honor Brittany's memory with facts while also demanding truth for the very serious allegations being made. The coming months will tell if these two narrative remain separate or if new evidence from documentary from law enforcement or from figures like 50 Cent himself will force them to collide. Until then, the only responsible approach is to hold space for the tragedy and maintain a healthy skepticism toward the conspiracy while acknowledging that in Hollywood sumitize the truth is stranger than any fiction. Anyways, what do you think? Off this whole drama? Let me know your opinions in the comments. Till next time, bye.